Hi, I'm Bria. I'm doing my project on Propolis Infused face serum. Work is just kind of like a brand name that I kind of created because I'm doing multiple projects for the other beekeeping courses. So I just kind of put them all together and under a brand so that they would all just kind of like work in a line together almost. So propolis is used by bees in the hive as a form of glue, and it like seals all the cracks and holes. And when beekeepers are going through hives, usually they throw the propolis away, or they just kind of discard it when they need to take the frames out and separate the supers and stuff like that. But actually, propolis has antimicrobial properties that protect from bacteria and fungi, and they also have anti-inflammatory properties, which could help in healing wounds and bruises and scars on the skin. So I thought to use that in a face serum. So my idea was to make a face product that would help prevent mask acne, because during COVID, my teammates and I, still playing volleyball, have to wear masks when we play. And so we're sweating and we're dirty from the gym, and all of that is stuck in our masks. And so then we get really bad breakouts, like honestly right here, so we call it mask acne. And so I just wanted to make a face serum that would help with the I also wanted to make it lightweight and all natural, so that it wouldn't mess with sensitive skin or it wouldn't make any breakouts worse. I was just explaining that down below on this slide, how we wear our masks a lot. And then the targeted customer base, though, would be just any women, especially women experiencing breakouts. And I think that because of COVID, because of mask mandates, a lot of people other than just athletes are experiencing this, so that this could be targeted towards anyone experiencing acne, especially due to the mask. Also, I would market this for customers who are interested in shopping locally and supporting locally and buying sustainable products. So I first had to make the propolis extract or tincture, and how I did that is started gathering propolis from the hives at the farm. So this was provided by UHH, therefore I wouldn't have to pay for this ingredient. So when inspecting my hive, I would just gather it up in a bowl and it kind of like sticks together. And then I took it home and cleaned it. So I like broke it into pieces and tried to take out any like dead bee parts or like anything wax or debris that's in there. After that, you put 100 grams of propolis into 400 milliliters of 70% alcohol. And then you put it in a glass, either a dark glass or a glass in a dark place, and you leave it there for 2 weeks and you shake it occasionally. I shook mine every day because my pieces were kind of big and I wanted to make sure they dissolved completely. So I shook it often until they were completely dissolved. And then after 2 weeks, I strained it through a shop towel and was left with the tincture, which was 20%. And then you would want to store that in a dark place thereafter until you're using it. And because I had a lot of tincture and I only need just a few drops of it for each recipe, the cost of the alcohol I used to make the tincture, because the propolis was free, is very small per recipe. So here's the recipe. There's 20 drops of it, some beeswax, which I got from processing wax that was given to me after a honey extraction. So the caps and everything, I cleaned them, melted them down, and then strained them as well. And then tamanu oil, I actually couldn't get a hold of, and it is quite expensive. So I found some substitutes for it. And then drops of essential oils and tea tree oil for their added benefits as well as the fragrance. In my first trial, I used too much beeswax, so I have that one still here. And like, as you can see at room temperature, it's like very hard. And I don't know, it's kind of similar to balm though. It works really well as balm, but it was just too hard to be used like on your face. It's too heavy and it would not be good to play in, to sweat under. And then the second trial, sorry if you guys are seeing this. The second trial, I put the essential oils in too soon, and the fragrance basically like evaporated, and it just kind of smelled like without a scent, or kind of like honey, which isn't a bad scent, but it wasn't what I wanted. And then for trial 3 is when I was saying that I had to experiment with different combinations of oils. So I found that castor oil, jojoba oil, and hemp oil mixed were a good substitute for the tamarind oil. Here are the ingredients by price of what I have them for. So because I already had some essential oils, and the beeswax was provided and the propolis was provided, those were at no cost for me. And I did already have castor and jojoba oil as well as hemp oil, but I included the prices here because I don't think those would be very common, like if you were going to make this on your own. And then the container, I reused glass containers that I've had in my house from small candles or other jars or lip balms or things that I just kind of collected over time. So those were zero cost to me, but I found similar ones at Ben Franklin for $2. So I included that here. And then also the equipment I used in order to strain and process the things. So per recipe plus the container, it's $3.65 to make this product. So the results that I found were that the face serum did help with the inflammatory parts of a breakout, which is kind of like the redness or the little bit of pain that you might feel, but it didn't really help prevent or stop any breakouts. The serum is really moisturizing, it smells good, and it makes great use and adds major value to propolis, which would normally be discarded, and possibly even the honey caps that could be discarded as well. I would sell this product for more than $10. I looked online and looked at other face serums including propolis, and they're sold for $30 or more. And I think that if I charged even 10 to 15, I would be making a great profit and still would be competitively lower than others in the market with face serum. And then for improving the product, I think it would be easier to make the product the consistency that I wanted if I used like a hand mixer or maybe even a blender of some sort, so that it could be a whipped consistency and then even more lightweight, because the product ends up kind of looking like this. It's kind of whipped and it's a little more relaxed than the one that has too much wax, but it still has clumps of wax in it because I was just mixing it by hand. So yeah. And then what I would do next would be to develop a skincare line of products under the brand name Body of Work, like I said earlier, and I could do different scents. I could use other ingredients or just make products for different parts of the body other than face, and maybe even hair products. The tincture that I made is for external use only because of the type of alcohol I used, but if you use oil or different types of alcohol, you can make tincture that can be used for internal uses as well, so that could be something I do. And then some questions that I got from my teammates who used it and from people I've talked to about it were, how often would you need to reapply it? And I would say to do it 2 times daily, like a normal moisturizer or serum in your skin routine, and then if it works for sensitive skin or not. And then based on the results I got, most of my teammates with sensitive skin who did actually use the product said that it wasn't too bad, and because it's made out of a lot of oils, it added to some of the oil of their skin type already, if that makes sense. Yeah, then those are my sources. Thanks for listening.